Hello everybody, and welcome back to the range. Tom here, and first, I'd like to wish all the veterans out there a happy Veterans Day. And today, we're doing another Charger build, a 1968 Dodge Charger. One of my favorite castings. I got a couple more of these. So, why don't we head on down to the range, and let's get started. You know, I've done another one of these exact castings before. There's a video for it and everything. So, but you know, I got 3 of these castings, and I've already got a plan I'm going to do with the last casting. And you know, I wanted this one to be a specific build because we got the 4 Horsemen build coming up. The Pagani Hyra, I think's what it's called, is a police car. So I thought I'd get a head start and do a little bit of a cop car myself. You know, just as a Charger, you know, because I've never actually seen a Charger cop car before. So I thought I'd give it a shot because I had some extra highway patrol decals just laying around. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. You know, this was a very fun build. It really was. And then my airbrush got bad, so I went and got me a cheap little siphon fed airbrush, so I was able to finish. You see me cutting the pegs, or the posts. All I'm doing is just cutting them to a certain spot so I can easily follow them down and just tap the holes real quick. And some builds I do that. It depends on how the posts come out. Sometimes I gotta trim them up or file them down and stuff just so I can get a flat surface to work on. And you know, this build, I don't know what it was. Something told me I had to make it a cop car. You know, I got other Chargers that I've done in the past. You know, just sitting in a shelf, and the one thing I don't have is police cars. So I decided to make one of my own, and I was really happy with how it turned out with the colors that I chose. You know, you see it here out of the gun oil. You know, I'm getting ready to take some, you know, steel wool and go over it. You know, because I don't know what it is. I like using steel wool. It's a little shavings and stuff everywhere, but other than that, it's a pretty decent way to do it because I don't like using the wire brush on the Dremel tool. So the only tools I really try to use, honestly, is my drill, normally. But some castings that I gotta do, you know, I'm putting a hood scoop on it. You know, this hood scoop ended up not working well, and I ended up changing it at the end, but I don't show it. But, you know, I was gonna put a fin on it and stuff, but, you know, I decided not to. What I'm doing here is, after I'm doing the wheels, I'm going to paint the rims. And I've already set them in cleaner and everything, you know, because, you know, these rims, I really like how they looked on here. They roll perfectly with this casting. So, you know, I got the wheels kind of soaking in, you know, soapy water right now, just cleaning them up, getting all the dirt and stuff off of them while I do the axles. And, you know, I'm just making sure they fit, and man, they fit perfectly on this casting. Like, I couldn't be happier with the way they turned out on here. You know, the front and rear ones, you know, they just look immaculate. And what I'm doing here is I'm putting a gray base coat, and then I'm going over it with white. And I ended up having to redo it, though. You know, because my airbrush kind of messed up, and literally the nozzle broke off when I was trying to loosen it up, I guess. And, you know, it turned out, like, originally it turned out fine, but then when I went to peel the tape off, the paint came with it. You know, I'm trying to put a little bit of a silver coat on it. You know, it didn't work out too well, and like I said, I had to re-strip it all down and repaint it all. You know, I had my cheap little airbrush I used, and you know, it did good. It really did. I'm just waiting to be able to purchase me a newer airbrush So, I don't like the siphon airbrushes whatsoever. They're bulkier and harder to maneuver around. But it ended up working in the end. And, I got the little lights. I didn't end up using those lights because they broke off. So I had to make my own set of police lights. And I don't know what it is, something told me just no matter what, try to do airbrush. Because at first I thought I was going to just switch over to, using rattle can again. But I was like, no, don't go back to rattle can. Don't go that far. Don't go that route. If you have to, wait until you get a new airbrush. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, I could not get another airbrush. Or I cannot wait to get another airbrush. So, I was able to get a cheap one to temporarily use. I had to modify my compressor hose just to fit the hose that went with it because it was really small. So I took a quick release piece and just kind of filed it down, put a plastic tubing in the hole, and attached the smaller air hose to the plastic styrene tube, and just put a shrink wrap around it. And I just heated it up, and it just kind of shrunk into it, and it works amazing. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for further notifications. Now what I'm doing is I'm taping it off because I was actually looking at some pictures of some 60s model style cop cars, and I was like, what, I'm going to try to mimic one of the paint designs and put my own little twist onto it. So I taped off the spots that I was wanting to be white, which they ended up silver. Like I said earlier, I had to strip the paint off and redo it. So, and then I'm going over it with a black. I think it's the oblique black, but I ended up changing it once I stripped it all down again, and I changed it to a OP jet black, a wicked color. And I love how that jet black turned out. It turned out really nice, and I was really happy with the turnout of it. And you see me kind of adjusting my airbrush. I don't know what it is with me and airbrushes. It's just they tend to just not like me, I guess. I've had to adjust the settings on it, run cleaner through it, all kinds of stuff just to get a decent spray on. And I'm looking at a decent airbrush, but it works. And you've seen there the wheels. And here's what it looks like now. After I painted it all and did the coats and stuff, I'm going to be taking some paint markers and painting the light bar that I made, of course, with the red and blue, for the police. I accidentally got a little bit of blue on my car. It didn't come off, but I wasn't wanting to take it all down and repaint it all again just for that one little spot. So I did my best to clean it off. And honestly, I think it looks pretty good. It looks like a police light bar. So I was really happy with it. And like I said, I had some highway patrol decals just laying around. So I was like, you know what? I might as well use them. So I grabbed them up and I started putting them on. And, I'm detailing the interior a little bit. I've already painted the interior, the jet black color. So I'm going over with my chrome pen, just detailing up the engine portion of it. And, what I'm doing with the decals is, I got the 4 numbers that I put on there. And, I wanted to make sure it kind of looked like a cop car, and you can see that black shine. I was really happy with how shiny that turned out. And, the decals didn't even really fight me all that much. Usually I get a pain in the butt, a decal that doesn't want to sit straight or go on right or something. And, luckily enough, I didn't have that issue. And it was actually, I think it's probably one of my favorite chargers that I've done. My next charger build won't be for a while though, but I got some I'm gonna do my own Dukes of Hazzard General Lee, because I got decals just sitting around, and I'm wanting to do my own General Lee. You know, I got the paints, I got, you know, the decals, I got a charger. You know, it's the same casting as this one, but I'm wanting to put my own little twist onto it. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I don't know what my next video is going to be yet, but it's going to end up being a good one. You know, I'm going to kind of work with the cheap airbrush that I got now, and, you know, hopefully things will go well and go alright until I can get me a newer airbrush, which ain't much longer. I got like about a couple weeks, 2 weeks till I can get me one. But, you know, I was going to close down the shop for a little bit, but, you know, I was like, I couldn't do it. So, like I said, I was able to purchase a cheap one, at least till I get me a better one, because, you know, I could not just sit around and not do any painting, not do any of my decals, because I've been working on other customs. I got cars sitting in the graveyard, or not the graveyard, but the junkyard, just stripped down and just waiting to be worked on. And, you know, I'm putting K9 unit decals on this, just right in the spot where I know it would be able to be seen. And, you know, it turned out, and I'm hope y'all like it very much. You know, but you guys remember what we started off with. The 68 Charger. Very good casting. I was very happy with it. Could not complain. And, you know, I got my light box set up to where, you know, I can get good pictures and good video of the car. But without further ado, why don't we see the 68 Charger Highway Patrol Car?
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you?
And I'll see you next time at the range.